Here we are at Peterson Air Force Base at the museum, and this is a EC-121D that we're going to get to go inside of. 10-4. Tell us all about it one more time. This is the magnetron thing right here.
Yeah.
And then that's where the
Thyratron goes here.
Thyratron, which fires and the magnetron.
And there was an adjustment down there for filament current.
Yeah.
And you had to have like a 3-foot long screwdriver, and you put it down there and adjust the current on it until you got the filament current correct.
Okay.
To the place you can plug your PSM6 in there.
Yes. Okay.
A little warm for me. I'm getting
all right.
It is warm.
So over here is the navigator station, where the navigator would work hard, make sure we didn't get
GPS
lost.
under there.
GPS, right.
He's got like joysticks and stuff here.
We were responsible for the GPS, weren't we?
We're responsible for the GPS.
Or CGRS.
CGS.
That's not. Oh, look, it's got a. Remember these little things?
Yeah.
What's that called? A joystick, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Joystick in 1972.
Yeah, it was cutting edge stuff. The DME indicator, and that's a radio.
Yeah.
Radio locator system. RDF radio.
Here's all the Connies sitting on at McClellan. This is the radio operator's station. Up there is where the pilots hang out. This is where the pilot did all his stuff. You shoved all them things forward and you started reading all your meters and hoping your steering was working right.
Things on top after you pulled it back, that was reverse.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you don't want to go reverse when you're giving it juice to go.
The props and the fire stuff's right over your head there.
Yeah. There you got all this stuff. Feather number 4. Feather number 4. Then you got a flight engineer over here. He's got all this stuff. A lot of buttons and knobs. He's got a second set of throttles. I guess are those his throttles down there? I don't know. But this was the guy that kept track of how much fuel you got, whether you're going to make it, whether you had enough oil pressure, whether your hydraulics were working. It was all pretty technical. It's amazing these things stayed up in the air. Some of them didn't. All right. Now, so much for the 512 bulkhead.
We've got a reunion of old Connie people here, so we're letting them do all the talking instead of the guides talking this time. Since you're not part of them, I can tell because you're not old enough.
Not even close. You're grandkids.
Yeah. So you were probably. So this plane was retired in '78. So I think you're probably not old enough to have flown on it.
No, not quite.
Okay, so you notice how I'm being careful about what I said. What I do want to know is, did you get an explanation of what the aircraft was or what it did?
No, we just sort of wandered.
You just kind of wandered in. So this is a EC-121. It's a radar plane. It was built in the early 50s, started flying in 55, and its job was to provide an additional half-hour to hour warning of a bomber attack on the U.S. from the Atlantic or the Pacific. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year until 1969. They flew up both coasts of the United States. At least 3 of them, pretty much. In 69, that mission changed from a strategic warning mission to more of a tactical role in Southeast Asia and things like that. And this aircraft was modified for that. It's a T model, which is the last model the Air Force had. The positions you went by back there are the radar positions. Search radar goes around. That's what's in the belly. It goes around like this. So people, go on, Charlie. So what's happening is you're getting to hear docent work, and you guys know all this crap. And if I lie, you can straighten me out.
I was going to call you on a couple things, but I thought I'd let it go.
No, that's okay. We're trying. I'm trying to stay close without getting in detail. And the purpose of the search radar was to locate and identify aircraft flying within their area of coverage. If it was a friendly, they could tell because of a system called identification friend or foe. If it was unidentified, then their job was to call. Then interceptors would be called to find it when it was flying off the coast. In '69, the mission changed to a tactical role in Southeast Asia and other places, and in that role, it was an airborne. It served as almost an airborne command post. In Southeast Asia, it was a MiG hunter. It would also be a traffic cop in a sense.
Yeah, we ran the bombing runs.
Yeah, we ran the bombing runs. They guided aircraft. The aircraft, there's an aircraft like this. Its tail number is 555 or triple nickel. It's in the Air Force Museum, and it got there because it is credited with the first confirmed hostile aircraft shoot down direction of any airborne early warning control aircraft. At least the Air Force. And so it earned its right to go there. Plus, the crew chiefs loved it. It was a great flying plane when it was overseas.
When it wanted to.
When it was overseas, it wanted to.
Yeah,
when it was in the States, it wasn't worth it to tinker's darn. Yeah. As a matter of fact, it couldn't fly from Sacramento, California to Wright-Patterson, Ohio without an engine change at Hill Air Force
At about
Base.
5 stops.
Yeah, I mean, it had tons of problems because it never liked flying in the States. Anyway, that's what the back end. In the middle, there was the navigator and the radio operator position. Navigator, where am I? Where am I going? How do I get there? That's his #1 job, always, especially over water. Over land, the pilot had navigation tools, and he could do it himself. The other job he had was to align that radar to the ground so that when they were able to see a track, when they saw a track on the ground or on the scope, it was fixed in reference to ground.
No, I can tell Jerry I was
on their scopes, it kind of looks strange because when a plane's going up and down like this, on normal radars, you would see the ground going the opposite direction of you. If you're going this way, you'd see something on the ground going that way if it reflected back at you. On that radar, if it was turned on and working right, then those objects were stationary.
Wow.
It was really a strange thing to see. They would be
But
stationary.
the display moved.
The display moved.
The target
so
stayed, but the display moved.
And by doing that, they could set up a reference point to the ground that allowed them to be able to. They're loading in 30 minutes. They could do range and azimuth on the aircraft and turn it into longitude and latitude by using that plotting board back there, by some magic of the operators. Go on up, take a look at.
We need a radar tech to put the landing gear down, the flaps down using a crank. Only radar techs can do that.
What's your name?
Bill Snyder.
Bill Snyder. I'm Dave Washington. I was a radar operator.
Okay.
And what were you?
I was a Raytech.
Raytech. Oh, great. Outstanding.
73.
Yeah. Did you know Dean Boys that just left?
No. I just
okay.
met him.
Oh, okay. Great.
But he's done a great job on his website.
Yeah,
keeping his
isn't
stuff
he?
up, and I'm sure he was kind of the inspiration for this. So.
You want to get in here and explain?
No, I've been
Whenever I
all
have a
through it.
technical
You already been through it?
I send him a question.
I just thought
I
maybe
flew
it would be less congested this time. But
Yeah.
65th and then wing training and Stanival, and then I come up to ADC. This plane was headed to the boneyard when I had it diverted in here.
Oh, cool. That was your job?
That was my project.
Thank you.
They said it couldn't be done, but I knew a guy up there in the Pentagon, and I knew a couple other guys, and I greased it about a month in advance.
Just have to know who to call.
And I just greased it, and then I said, be expecting a message from under the Vice Commander of ADC's signature, and when it comes in, all I want you to do is approve it. I don't want you to ask questions or anything. If there's brief whoever has to know right now that it's coming, so that when it comes, it won't hit them by surprise. Within a couple of weeks after we sent the message, it was approved.
Wow.
It came out here in '78 September. All of us that were in 121s that here retired or went to AWACS or somewhere, it sat out on the ramp for about 10 years. Various states of disrepair.
Beautiful now.
It tipped on its tail and damaged. When it sat out here for years, it was full of bird stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, to make a long story short, about the year 2000, we designed the airport, got it all done, and then we put all these in position. And I've been working on this. I spent like 92 hours last month, but this one, I made all the ditch and ropes, all of the survival gear. You see the headsets, the water jugs. I bought on eBay, and so
really
the sextant, the CRT-3 Gibson grill that you see over in the hangar. Have you been over the hangar
yes.
yet? Yeah. I bought that in eBay, and so
eBay.
Yeah.
And everything's on eBay.
And the 8-day clocks we can't get naturally, so we just took a picture of them and put a picture of it in the panels. So.
Well, you did a great job.
It's a labor of love. So.
Yeah.
And I opened up the APS 45 radome today, so everybody could take a look in. We took I had a permanent plexiglass down there, so that with lights in it, you could